This UFC card with Calvin Kattar and Dan Ige at the top is one that a lot of people are going to sleep on. You haven't heard a whole lot because the headlines have been dominated so far in this entire fight week by Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. But come Sunday, people are going to start to get excited about it. And you have a lot of regional talent making the move up to the UFC. Modestas Bukauskas being one of them, the former Cage Warriors light heavyweight champion. He's going to be taking on Greece's Andreas Michailidis, the Spartan. And Matt, I'm really excited about this fight for a lot of different reasons. I mean, if you look at Modestas Bukauskas, he's beaten some notable names, some guys that you might recognize from maybe not just the regional scene, but a guy like Marcin Wojcik, who's competed for KSW's light heavyweight championship against Tomasz Narkun. He's taken on in his last fight a tough out in Ricardo Nasiglia in a fight where he faced a little bit of adversity, weathered the storm, and unleashed Travis Brown elbows and got the win there. This is an issue for Modestas Bukauskas. He gets taken down fairly easily. And I know Wojcik is a bit of an outlier. He's a guy that can do that to a lot of good fighters. But Bukauskas so far defending the takedown, not that great. But the good thing for him is he does the opposite of like a Khabib. He's one of those guys where it might be rinse and repeat for the opponent, but Bukauskas is able to get back to the fence, get back up to his feet, and strike. And he's such an unorthodox striker. And oh, by the way, Michailidis on the opposite side, he's taken on UFC caliber talent. Marcel Fortuna, he's got a win over him. And he's a really good kickboxer. He throws great body kicks. He throws great leg kicks. The one problem for Michailidis that I've seen in all of the fight tape that I've watched, and truth be told, this is one of the fights that I'm most excited about on this card. Michailidis holds his hands really high and out really far. And as soon as you pose him any adversity on the feet, you can back him up easy, and he keeps his head right on the center line. And I think for a lot of different reasons, that's going to pose a good opportunity for Bukauskas to be able to move in. What do you make of this fight, and what's your excitement level here?
Oh, my excitement level is at least a 9 out of 10. If the main event's 10 out of 10, this is a 9 out of 10 for me on this card especially. Because Bukauskas, you saw in Cage Warriors, yes, you pointed out very well, his wrestling defense, not great at all. But he is good at scrambling, getting back up to his feet, and that's the one positive. Hopefully he's gotten to the UFC at an early stage in his career to where they're going to feed him guys like Michailidis who don't have the best wrestling in the world, really let him kind of showcase his striking ability as he can work on his wrestling defense kind of in the background, but just sort of give him fights that you know he's going to at least do somewhat well in. And I think this does have fight of the night spelt all over it, other than the main event, of course, because Bukauskas, very unique form of striking. And like you said with Michailidis, he does have that weird defensive flaw where it's not like he leaves his chin out like Luke Rockhold. He does have his hands out, but they're at such a distance from his face that I don't even really know if it's doing that much. I think this is going to be a great battle between two really good kickboxers. I'm favoring Bukauskas, though.
The weird thing about this one, too, when you want to look at Michailidis, you look at his last two fights. So his second to last fight was with Titan FC against Marcel Fortuna that fought in the UFC. And if you look at it, Michailidis looked good, but the problem is Fortuna pretty well outstruck him until he landed a crazy spin kick. It rocked him back into the cage, and then he followed it up and got the TKO. If you have a good grappler outstriking you until you land a wild power shot, that's not a good thing. And then if you look at his last fight, he took on somebody that maybe you've never heard of, Ari Marcel Santos, in what looked like an elementary school gymnasium. The tape is terrible. And if you go out and watch it, I mean, yeah, he beats him, but it's not all that special or surprising. So, yeah, I'm going to side with the Lithuanian-born Modestas Bukauskas in this one, but I am really looking forward to this one. And maybe a next matchup for a guy like Bukauskas, Klidson Fajes. I mean, he hasn't been that great in the UFC, but somebody that at least poses that takedown threat. Not a guy like a Krylov or a Serkinov. Those guys are way too high. But there are certainly guys that he could definitely go up against and kind of incrementally build a guy up like this, I think.
Yeah, let him fight Sam Alvey next. Just like a recognizable name. Okay, that might end very badly, but you know what I mean? Just one of those guys who they're a little bit longer tenured in the UFC, and you know that their goals aren't really the title anymore. A fight against a guy like Sam Alvey would make a lot of sense, I think.
Well, Matt, we're really looking forward to this one. You're not going to miss the rest of the predictions on the card, especially an extended look at Calvin Kattar taking on Dan Ige. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks, Matt. And as we always say,
let's get into it.